Three, two, one. It says we're live. Hey, hello everybody. This is Mike. My name is Mike Dixon, Joker Tech. I didn't even introduce myself on the first go. So yeah, this is round two. It's snowing, so I have a lot of incredible time on my hands, and I brought my friend Josh, or Daze One, better known as on the Twitters. And we're going to finish up talking about stuff or whatever else comes up. I see Rez in the room. I see Brian in the room. Please share the links out there. I didn't get. I got to get into the Telegram room and let them know I'm doing this again. Share the links out there. And let's see. We're back. All right, there we go. Oh, I got to mute that. Okay, there we go. So, by the way, Daze, you still can hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay. And as everybody can hear me out there, please let me know if there's any technical difficulties. So, yeah, Brian. Brian got enough snow to shut it down. We are not to that point here in South Jersey, but for us boys out here, we don't know what snow is like compared to anybody's living out in Michigan or any worse. Meanwhile, Josh shares a share to let me know it's 70 degrees.
Yeah, it's pretty warm. I'm not really a fan of this Texas weather, especially during the winter.
Yeah,
I would like some snow, but not where I'm at. Mid Texas.
You've been in Texas all your life?
Yeah, well, I was in Oklahoma for about 3 years.
Okay.
So
were you part of Oklahoma that did get snow?
Yes, Fort Sill or Lawton.
Okay. Were you ex-military?
Yes.
Oh, well.
Fort Sill, cool. Oklahoma.
Well, thank you for your service. I did not know that. See, we get to know a little bit more about Josh. Oh. So what's if you want to pick up any more conversation or add from the earlier part of the show, which, by the way, if for anybody coming into this, I did a live stream about 2-ish hours ago, took a little break, and wanted to come back. I like I said, I don't have this. I don't get this opportunity too often. So Josh, in our comments and stuff, anything you want to highlight, anything you want to bring up, anything in general?
We could talk about, let's say, the everybody talks about these Samsung devices, with the I've been on Twitter, of course, a lot, and a lot of people talk about Samsung going backwards and stuff like that with the whole S20 line. It's a downgrade from the the S21 is a downgrade from the S20, and stuff like that. A lot of backlash, but then again, I've seen a lot of also praise from it, because Samsung kind of like, what I call it is like fine tuning. When people talked about, like, Samsung has so many features and so much, why do we need this? Why do we need that? And look at the price. It's $1,000 for the S20 when it first came out. Mm-hmm. But then it comes out now at $800. And yes, they did cut costs with the whole 1440p. Everybody gave a lot of backlash on that. Why didn't they do the 2K resolution with the 120? But like, for me, like I said, it's like that fine tuning. We lowered the price, gave you, the 1080p. Yes, it is a downgrade compared to a 1440, but you're not taking, like most of us, that when we have the now that we have the S20 series and we have the Note 20s and stuff like that, rendered our phone to that 1080p, to get that 120 hertz, which is pretty much like a downgrade within itself, because you're taking a high resolution screen and rendering a lower resolution on it, which gives you that, it's not like, I would say, like a blur image. It's not that extreme clarity, because it's not producing the highest quality onto the display. So now they fine-tuned it. They brought down the display. So now you're rendering the highest resolution on that display that is tuned for that 1080. So it's kind of like an optimized resolution. I would kind of say it like that way. Is doing 1080 at 1080 is better than doing 1080 on 4K or 2K.
Okay. All right.
So
I all that brouhaha, and that's what precipitated to bring out this my S10. It was always on the fringe. All the devices I have that are got a live sim in them. This one wasn't getting used, and I said, okay, I did a little rotating. This is my personal line that's on it. So I saw the talk about this display thing, and everybody saying, well, the older ones had the quad HD, so I put it on quad. It's on quad right now, and personally, I see a little bit of a little bit of a difference. You know, I was watching Jimmy's promo, and he showed how to get a little bit of faster scroll speed by going to developer options, and I changed that, and I saw a difference there. But I get it, and by default, it was always to 1080, was it not?
yes,
When you open it up and got it out of the box.
yeah, it was at 1080. They do that
Right.
battery.
Right, and again, I can't stop saying this, but and people are going to get bored of this. I'm sorry, but let's talk about all the people. I've been seeing this phone in a lot of hands, and not techies. You know, I've seen this phone out in public, and those very people, the person who what came to my mind is what quickly comes to my mind is I discovered DoorDash at work, and this lady came up to me and says, "Hold on, I got to take a picture of the." She took a picture of me holding the food. I guess for proof that the stuff got delivered. And she held it up. I go, "Oh, S10." I felt like saying I was right here. You know what I mean? But do I go and ask her, "Oh, what's your resolution you have that set on there?" She don't care. She wanted probably that was a bright ass colored case she had on it. That's all she cared about. You know? So it goes back to that whole, you know, I'm sorry, I can't help it. It really is. You can tell it really bothers me how these tech reviewers, you know, they all go to the Ultra. They all show, yeah, great. It does the great things, but and they, you know, it's like it's part of the review process. It's like, oh, okay, I guess I'll do a review on the S21. You know, and they point out these things, but to get the cost to where it is, because we all bitched about it. Do we not all bitch about the $1,000 standard version?
I know,
right?
when the S20 came out and they were like starting at $1,000, like whoa.
And to Android Stud's point, when we are all bitching about the $699 on the Pixel, you know what I mean, and we all know 100 of it is the Verizon tax.
Yeah,
but
Verizon pushed that millimeter wave antenna, which raised the price.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing. My mom, Carol Dixon's in the room. Calm down. I ain't calming down, Mom. This is my show. I'll get all upset if I want to. Ha! She's gonna smack me around. Anyway, so you know, but to his point though, too, if it was $599, we'll all be complaining about it should be $499. So
yeah, I mean, I see the point on that because everybody, you know, we can push the price down, we can push the price down, we can push the price down. I mean, at some point when you get the price too low, you're eventually going to just really cut into quality.
So let me ask you, because we're talking about the S21, I will change the title and put S21 and get all kinds of hits on that for the algorithm. Mom, you're not going to send me to my room without dinner because I already ate. Oh. What about the S21 Plus?
I mean,
why do you think it's not getting any kind of love? Because are there any other features that has other than a larger battery and a larger screen? I thought I heard something about unlocking cars and having the proper bands to do, I guess, Verizon's millimeter wave or ultra band.
The unlocking of the cars, that I have no idea. I know there's some apps that do that. Whenever you purchase certain cars, they have apps that'll.
Yeah, I read something about that.
NFC or something like that to detect
There were
the
certain
phone.
things. There were certain things about the S21 that didn't have. That was the bands, the band for the millimeter wave. And I
Yeah,
thought
and
I
the
heard,
MST payment or
mhm,
yeah, MST payment.
well, MST payment is all gone all the way around.
Yeah, yeah,
Is
that's
that it?
gone.
Bye, mom. Good night. Uh,
They got a lot of backlash on that too because a lot of people were saying they were still using the MST payments. Um, I mean, me, I've used it once. I mean, I've heard like people in Vegas, and which I was surprised is Vegas is the fact that they're still using MST payments as a mobile method.
hmm
Because I mean, Vegas is a pretty big city. I live in a little town,
hmm
and for me to use MST payment was I just wanted to try it. But the place
Right.
also accepted NFC payment, which is what I've been using now. It's just NFC payments everywhere. And the MST payment, I just used it just to try it, just to say that I can do it with my
Right.
Samsung. But I mean, we're such a small town, and yet everywhere from the McDonald's to the Subway to even the little grocery store and the mom and pop's convenience stores are all using the NFC payments.
You just made me think about this too. Is about MST payment. It's using the magnetic strip that's in the card reader, like when you used to swipe cards. I've yet to think. I believe, and anybody in the audience knows or not, but Samsung, Walmart is still insisting on using their payment method, and NFC does not work. Now, I've used my S10 on Walmart, and I've had cashiers kind of some don't even blink an eye, but
Mhm.
some go, "Oh, you can't," and then went whoop, and it goes right through. And
That is
so,
the price.
yeah, I need to go check that out again, unless something has changed. But to my recollection, the last time I was in a Walmart, it's been a few months. I will admit, they don't have NFC payment. You can't use like Apple Pay, or Google Pay. So this is where maybe my S10 still can pull that off. But on the S20 Plus, what? And I'm asking you because I'm missing something. And it is just a bigger phone than the 20 and a glass back. Do you know of anything else that's you're paying $200 more for a larger phone?
Yeah, a larger phone, the bigger battery, the bigger screen. Uh, I don't know. I don't even think it has the S Pen
No,
capability or the
don't.
S Pen
No, don't.
Um, so pretty much just a larger phone and the bigger battery. And man, like I don't know if it had some
So why should they make an S20 Plus?
for the people that like the big screens.
Don't even want a big screen. Go to the Ultra.
But then if you're going ultra, it's like what $300 $400 more.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's for the person that I don't need all the bells and whistles of the ultra, such as the extra cameras, the um the quad
So
HD.
is this in line
It's
with
the
the
middle ground.
yeah? So is
It's a,
this in line with Apple because everything's copy off of Apple?
okay,
You
now you
got the
see it.
mini, you got the 12, and you got the 12 Pro Max,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah,
Am I right? Yeah. I know the mini is a mini, and that's what I hear.
yeah.
Uh, so have
See,
you
see,
seen a mini? Have you touched a mini, or have you seen one before?
after dealing with the SE 2020, the small phones I can't do because of my usage. I'll kill the battery real quick. Yeah. When I had my SE 2020, I think I was getting like 2.5 to 3 hours screen on time at most, and charging
Wow.
like 3 times a day.
Wow, you hammered.
Yeah,
What the
I was
hell are
running
you
it.
doing on that?
Mine is like a lot of gaming, a lot of
Really?
video editing, gaming, a lot of video recording, and just video content. And yeah, I would eat through that battery like there was no tomorrow.
Wow. Well, I thought I was a Twitter slash YouTube hog when I have downtime, but man,
Yeah, and then like I mean, like I tried it out. I mean, everybody said you should have gone for like an iPhone 8 or something like that with a bigger or an 8 Plus for the
hmm
bigger screen. But I wanted to see what was the latest processor. The latest processor, the 813, I think, is what it was. The 813 had to offer. Yes, it did offer a good gaming experience, but the phone overheated like crazy when I was using it. I did a video on it real quick about how it heated up within like the first 5 minutes of actual gaming, and it dimmed the screen down like a lot.
Hmm.
And I just couldn't play any games on it. A lot of people were like, "Oh yeah, it's a good processor. You can game on it. Gaming is extremely smooth." And I was like, "Yeah, but it 5 minutes and the screen dims down so much that you don't even want to play the game."
And you see the comment put up there. Brian says here they took away the SD card, MST, Quad HD, build quality, charger in the box, and headphones in the box. Yeah, all of those things.
Yeah.
Which is the most important thing they should have left in there?
I think they could have gotten away with the Quad HD and just scrapped everything else.
Really?
Because that's the biggest complaint that we haven't had headphone jacks in a while, so people are kind of used to that. If you coming from a previous Samsung phone, I think the S10, did your S10 have that USB-C to C, or is it USB-A to C?
A. It was A.
See that, and then like this is the biggest. Well, my argument as for Samsung and stuff like that. I mean, for me personally, like I've been using USB Type C since the Nexus 6P, so it's 5 years of USB-C to C chargers that I have. So like, and the Nexus 6P had an 18-watt charger. The Central had a 27-watt charger. The S20 had the S20 the S20s and the Notes that I have 25-watt chargers. So most of my stuff like has 15 and above. So when I use, or even the Pixel had the 15 or 18-watt charger. So when them taking out the charger if I was to go and buy an S21 right now, I would literally, even if it came with a box, it would be using the 25-watt charger, and I would have that charger already right now. So it didn't affect me. I always tell people it doesn't affect me. I mean, it may not affect a lot of people either, because we've had in the Android world, we've been using the USB-C to C for years now. Some phones are still offering the USB-A to C, but most of them have switched over to C to C. So it really wouldn't affect the majority of us or most of us. The headphone jack, like I said, that stuff's been taken out for already quite some while, so we've been accustomed to it already by now. The Quad HD is the biggest complaint that I'm seeing. Is finally Samsung incorporated the 120 hertz into their maximum resolution, and they're not using it in the lower model devices. That's the biggest complaint I've seen.
And you think that's a detriment for the lower the other phones?
I think they could have gotten away with it, especially since they went plastic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, especially since they went plastic, they could have gotten away with the push the 1440p resolution on all.
I wonder, is it the physical screen that was cost, or is it software that makes it that gets to the quad?
I'm pretty sure it's the physical screen.
Mm-hmm.
The physical screen itself. When it comes to like with that, I mean, I'm pretty sure, like I said, they could have gotten away with going the 1440 across the board with everything. But the way I see that Samsung is doing it is Samsung really wants to separate that Ultra model. Is what I see.
Yeah, they really do. They really do. Yeah.
Like they want to give, like it's like the S20 or the S21 is like a fan edition, and then the S21 Plus is, it's a bigger phone to kind of like lean you towards the Ultra, but not giving you the Ultra features. And then there's the top dog, which is the Ultra. I mean, if you were to have the S21 Plus with the Quad HD, 120 hertz, what would separate it from the Ultra other than the cameras?
And if I'm correct, the 20 FE had the 120 p resolution, and that was really that was just a money saving move. So I wonder if they tested the waters. You ever think about that? They like tested the waters and see how the response was, and everybody, and what I understand is a popular phone.
Yeah, I mean, everybody was like, "Oh, S20 FE, it's got like the power, it's got the screen. I mean, not the 1440, but it's got the 120 hertz.
It's right
resolution.
So and we fell for the trap. We all put the
And what was the price of it? What was the price?
Like $699.
Okay, so now we bump it up, and
because we got a new chipset.
And the different types of cameras now that the cameras are capable of recording like 8K 30, I think now.
Yeah.
And 4K, they're supposed to be, I mean, I don't have an S21 in hand or S21 Plus or Ultra, but they're supposed to be doing the 4K. Is it 4K at 120 now? Or is it the
I'm not sure on that spec. We're already doing
1080 at 120. but I think it's 4K at 120. I could
I've been
be wrong though, but
I've been highlighting some of these comments. So see, for George, SD card would be a big deal for me if I didn't change phones every few months. So I agree with Brian. Brian was up here for him. SD card was a big deal for him.
see,
So
okay, yeah,
okay,
touch on in the SD card section now. Here's on the SD card. I mean, yeah, the SD card. The fact that they took it away is a big loss because that was another big complaint was it with the SD card. Everybody complained about the SD card. They bumped it up. Base model is 128 now. What you can get on the S20, S21 on the S21 is like 849 or 829 or something like that for a 256 gig model. I mean, you couldn't even get the iPhone Mini at a 256 gig model at that price that you can get a larger phone with the 120 hertz and a 256 gigs. So,
yeah, I think it's a $50 increase to get to the 256.
And there's no other, like, if you look at the Pixel never offered an SD card, but Pixel didn't even offer a 256 gig storage price.
No, they haven't.
I mean, so Samsung is like in that little category of you can bump it up for $50, and people would say like I can buy an SD card. You can buy an SD card. Yes, you can buy an SD card. I mean, SD card, to me it is good. It's a good feature. You can go up to the terabytes as the way Samsung used to do it. But what's secure about the SD card? You lose your phone, they pull out the SD card. What's secure on it? Nothing.
Right.
Unless you've encrypted the SD card. The only problem with encrypting the SD card is whenever you switch over to another phone, the phone can't read it because it's encrypted only to that specific device.
Here's about the screens. George says here, my Ultra is showing 140 at 30 and 60, then 8K, no 120.
Yeah, you gotta go into the Pro mode.
Oh, Pro mode, yeah.
Yeah, Pro mode is 4K. Well, it's a 1080p 120. I'm not sure about the 4K. That was the one I couldn't get. Was the is if it went 4K 120. Everything's gonna be in Pro mode. The Pro modes is what's gonna offer the extra frame rates and stuff.
I'm just replying to my brother here. So
I know I need a wall behind me. I know.
No, he's talking about me, I think.
Oh.
He's talking about me. You need something behind your wall. He's talking Geekheim is my brother.
Oh.
Yeah. He's the other nerd in the family, but I'm the phone nerd. He's just nerds out on other nerdy things. So he's talking about this bare wall back here. I've got 400 different ideas what to do with this back wall here, and every one I go and start and I go no, because once I start painting or doing any kind of change or putting on there, it's a perfect wall right now. There's not a hole in it. There's not a nail or nothing in it. You know what I mean? I really did wanted to get maybe the sound deadeners, like a checker pattern. That's about the only thing I'm kind of leaning towards. But I'm not up here. I'm not up here enough to even sometimes feel like I'm worried. This is the most streaming I've done. Outside doing on Friday nights anyway. So my brother says he's the OG of nerds. Let's see, what's this? Decrypting before switching. Oh.
Yeah, you could always decrypt, but now can you imagine trying to decrypt a 512 gigabyte SD card or a terabyte SD card?
No, what's that like? Because I don't know. I didn't ever encrypted with any.
Yeah, like when you're going to encrypt, it's going to go through a long process of encrypting that SD card so it can be tuned to that phone so that if you take it out of the phone, it cannot read the files. In order to encrypt, it takes a long process to do it.
Does it? Okay.
So if you're going to try to encrypt, like say you're the one person that does a lot of videos and you have like 500 gigs of videos on your SD card. When it comes to encrypting that SD card, it's going to take decrypting it is going to take a long time.
On the original phone at that, right?
Yeah, on the original phone.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because if it was easy to just decrypt the SD card onto like something else, what was the point of encrypting it then?
Right.
You can just slap it in the computer and decrypt it. It's a security flaw within itself.
Is this what you did in the military? You know a lot about these phones, man. You really got me.
No, because I used to be that one, like back then in the day, I used to have the Motos. Moto was like my go-to phone. I didn't care if it had the best camera. I didn't care if it had the best specs. It was a Moto. I did a lot of modding with the Moto, but the Moto back then only came with the 16 gigabytes and 32 gigabyte variants. They weren't really, one of those most popular phones. They didn't come with a lot of storage and stuff like that. So what I would do is I would go and buy a 64 gig SD card, and then I would mod the phone and then format it so that it will mount itself as an internal file storage to the phone. So my Moto would say like 97 gigs on the phone for itself.
And that's including apps?
And yes, it acts as an internal because the phone was rooted. So I had to use, I think it was a SD mount format as internal or something like that. And it would actually trick the phone into thinking that the SD card was the internal storage.
So there's the reason why they got rid of the SD card for people like you.
Yeah, because you can literally, I can take a what used to be 64 gigabyte phone, and then have it formatted or have it mounted as internal storage, and then trick the phone into thinking that it's 256 gig phone.
Can you do that now on your Samsung?
No, the Samsung only uses it for like pictures and stuff like that. Maybe if I rooted it, but trying to unlock the bootloader, I think it's like $100 to pay somebody to do it.
Oh wow,
that I'm really? Not going to.
Here goes George here with more on the camera thing. Looking at video in Pro mode, full HD at 30, 60, and 120. 4K has 24, 30, and 60. Now I don't get the 24 part. I thought I don't understand what the
4K 120 S21 Ultra.
Yeah. 4K at 24. I think that's a pro mode in itself.
Yeah, it's the let's see. I'm trying to bring up this article in it where I saw that they were going to do something with the camera.
Josh has got details. Oh, and the stud's in the room. Here we go. He can unlock your bootloader for $80. Gave you a $20 discount.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Like it's a pretty good price to unlock these bootloaders for the Samsung phones. I remember I paid $25 to unlock the phone unlock one of the Motos. There was a carrier lock Moto, and the guy used created an app, and the app would literally hack the phone and unlock the bootloader all in one click.
Wow.
I mean, you would see the phone acting crazy, and then all of a sudden it would just pop up, your bootloader has been unlocked, and I was like, oh. So I mean that was pretty cool. Like unlocking the bootloader, I mean that's like the best thing to do if you're like a serious modder and you want really control over your phone. Because I mean there's just so much you can do. It's like I mean, people think that like rooting your phone and stuff like that. I mean, as it was once said, what is it? I don't know, that Spider-Man saying, with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah,
That's exactly the way it is with rooting your phone.
Okay.
Root your phone, you could break it, or you could actually, I mean, you can make it more secure than.
See, he's got bootstrap. You know what he's talking about on that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I'll be coming to you or Munchie. If Munchie pops in, I can only the professor, as I like to call him. He's another one that does this rooting and modding and all that stuff. So I understand Leo there, Android Stud. He was another one of the back in the good old days kind of thing. When you used to be able to change up things. Munchie is a beast. I will say that. Yes. So let's talk about the 765G. These were kind of like talking about phones, the little about internals and all. And you seem like a smart guy about this stuff. What's your take on the 765G? Is it really as bad as some people make it out to be?
I mean, I know somebody that has the Pixel 5, which is running the 765G, and he said he loves it. I mean, other than the intense gaming, such as like Call of Duty or something like that, or PUBG, where you can see the occasional hiccups, I mean, they've really had no problem with it.
Right.
I haven't messed around with the Pixel 5, so I really don't know as far as as far as my usage goes, what kind of, heat will it go through, or what kind of stuttering will it pick up, or.
Because you're really, when you get your hands on a phone, your foot's on the pedal hard down
Yeah, I do a
all the
lot of
time.
4K 60 recording. Like 4K 60 would be like the most intense thing when it comes to the camera, and then of course the gaming on the highest resolution, highest frame rate.
You said you're doing that. What are you doing? What have you been doing then? What am I missing something now? Or you got another YouTube channel that I don't see?
Oh no, the 4K that's like a family. That's like when I'm
No,
out with
okay.
the family, I record like everything when it comes to family.
Right.
So I like just out in the park with my daughter or stuff like that. Like I'll
Oh, okay,
record.
okay.
So that's where I do all my
Okay.
recording. It's nothing for YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
But then yeah, a lot of 4K 60. I've even started with the 1080 120 to see the way it looks and stuff like that. And that 1080 120 is really actually really good. I mean, it picks up like I can't even describe the way it looks because you gotta have a 120 hertz refresh rate screen to even watch the video. But
Mm-hmm.
to do the 1080 120 is like a more natural feel of the video than 1080 60 or 4K 60 has. I don't know, it has like a weird kind of like little unnatural view to it when you play it back or when you're actually watching to the video. It has some
On a non 4K screen.
no, even on a 4K screen, just watching it at 60 frames is it's kind of a like an artificial video for some reason. It just looks a little bit slightly different. And then you get the 30 frames, which gives you that motion blur. And then you got the 120, which looks more natural. Like if you're looking at it with your own eyes, like there's no motion blur. It's actually like it's really good. The coloring, the only thing is you need good lighting because of course that high fresh rate or the high frame rate that it's recording at requires good lighting. Otherwise, you get that like noise. What do you call it? That noise, the picture, the noise that you pick up whenever they get the dark in too dark of an area.
Grain.
Yeah,
Like
like
grain.
the video grain.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're in good lighting, you'll pick it up just fine, and everything will look really good. Uh, as the low light comes in, you'll start seeing that grain set in a lot faster. Then
Yeah.
you can go to 4K 60, and it'll be clear again because the phone is tuned for the actual 60 frames. You know, it pick up and gain good lighting.
So, yeah, I know you didn't. This is the only phone I have here, the Moto Edge that has the 765 in it, and to me, it's been a pleasure. It's been a real pleasure to use that phone with that chipset. And I do I play intense games? No. I've tried to take pictures and family video. Perfect example. Maybe I'll put a clip out there. My niece's Adam's daughter's birthday. We went over there. You know, COVID protected, but I took video of her opening up her present, and I look at that video and I shared it with them, and I'm like, boy, they really turned out nice. You know, for I know I have it on 1080 at 60, look really good. So, Joker, play Call of Duty on it on. I will take you up all night. Oh man, I'm old, man. I don't know about all night, but I'll take you up on it. I'll see. Are you have like a handle or something? Can I? Or you play that? I'll find you. We'll get together. Let's see. 765 adequate, but overheats on the Pixel 5. Brian, what are you doing to make it overheat? This is what I want to know. This is what I want to try and understand. You know, I got him telling me play Call of Duty all night on that phone, and him telling me that. What is it you doing that you're pushing it that much? The 88 is blazing. Of course, it's going to be blazing. I hope it's blazing. For the money you just got done spending, it better be blazing. It better make toast for you, okay? And I don't mean get hot to make toast, you know. So let's see, what's this Brian saying? Okay,
it's always the 4K 60 is gonna. That's like the most intense thing right there. 4K 60.
so to be honest with you, I need to do 4K 60 in my house because right now it's 30 degrees outside and it's going to be cold for the rest of the week. So I can't. I'll be cheating then. You know what I mean? It'll be like having the cooler lines for those high end computers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'll try it out. I'll do 4K at 60.
Yeah. Do a 4K 60 and I
How
mean,
fast? How fast you think it's going to take it for to get it hot?
I don't know.
Let's see.
I have videos that are about like probably about 8, 9, 10 minutes long, and I mean the device warmed up. It didn't throttle. It didn't start that jittering thing where I used to have a V20, and I would do like 1080 recording, and it would heat up the device, and all of a sudden I would get a lot of stutters. So when I
Now,
use this phone,
you're talking stutters in the video.
yeah,
They
like while
were
I'm actually,
literally stutter when you play it back.
well, no, while I'm actually shooting the video and moving, you would see that like it would start skipping around.
Really?
But now when I have like on the Samsung, that when I shot
Mhm.
with the S20, I shot with the S20 Plus, and I shot with the Note 20 Ultra, and all those 1080 60, 4K 60, shooting 10-minute videos, no issues.
Now, let me ask you this on here. I have 4K. Oh, okay, 4K UHD, but it doesn't tell me what at what rate it's doing.
You have to go into the Pro mode or see if it does. It should tell you on the regular mode. I mean, what you want to record at.
I mean, that's all it shows, right? I don't know if you see that. That's all I get on this Moto phone.
Oh, on the Moto, yeah, on the Moto, I don't know what frame rate it's probably recording
Mhm.
at 30 frames.
Hotspot, hotspot because my girlfriend's T-Mobile service is trash, and use hotspot when we drive in the car. GPS music streaming.
That'll also heat up the device.
Will
Any
it really?
any hotspotting because your phone is using the data and it's just streamlining that data through that phone.
Mm. Okay.
So I was like, that will also heat up the device. I used to use it a lot with like when I used to use my decks, like whenever I was out and about and I didn't have to Wi-Fi or anything like that, or just a regular TV, I would hook up my my phone to the computer or to the monitor, any TV, use decks and stream nothing but freaking YouTube and all that stuff like that, running it through the phone, and then put it on a like a wireless charger at the same time. And yeah, the phone's gonna heat up. One, because of the wireless charger. Two, because I'm using data, and three, because I'm using decks. So
Mm.
that would also heat up the phone. As far as like the Pixel, I mean, it's different. Like 4K 60, like I said, that's gonna heat up the device. Tethering will always heat up the device.
Let's see here.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. That was spotting. That was this one. Only battery I could kill. Well, the only battery I couldn't kill was the Moto Z.
Motos, man, I don't know what's the deal with that Moto Z line.
But
They,
with the battery mod.
yeah, with the battery model, was it like, what was it, 6,000 milliamps, something like
Mm.
that? It was like a crazy. It was like a zero lemon battery on it.
Andrew Stud saying is 4K 30
Yeah, okay,
possibly.
30.
All right. Well, I'll try it out. I'll be game. You know. And Leo, send me. Do you play Call of Duty? Like I said, we'll meet up. All right. But not not the rest of the week. After this, I'm back to going back to work. So, we were talking about all these different phones, well, especially Samsung and chipsets and all this stuff. Now, what's going on? What's going on with OnePlus? But I mean, they came in with the 8 Pro, which I had for a month, and that was a darn nice phone. And when I tell you it was hard to sell it, it was hard to sell it. But I knew what I was going to do, what I needed to do with the money to get that money back. That's what motivated me to sell it. But it took some nice video. It was not, it was large, but it wasn't too large for me, you know. Where do you think we're going to go from here? First off, with the OnePlus, like
I,
the OnePlus 9. Do you think we're going? First off, are we ever going to get the camera situation straight so everybody can
that,
stop bitching?
that's the biggest problem with the OnePlus. For their price, they're jumping into the Samsung price territory with that 900 price range, almost 1,000, if not 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting into Samsung's territory, and Samsung's known for the cameras. So for them to compete against in that range, and it's tough because everybody will still choose over one, the brand Samsung, and then two, tech reviewers always putting down the OnePlus for
Right.
their cameras. Yeah,
I'm trying to Google right now. I thought I saw something earlier today about another Nord. Let's see, N1. They call it N1. Here we go. Let's see if I can. Only this time I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Only 10 tabs open. Let's see if I can do this without freezing. Let's see here. Screen share. Yeah. Chrome. Here we go. I'm gonna put this out there and see how do I look. All right. So I saw this today. A leak. Hey, I just realized this is the first leak. This is today. Yeah, 15 hours ago. This is the first time I saw a leak for any kind of phone in a while. OnePlus Next affordable smartphone now has a name. The OnePlus Nord was a landmark. Now that's according to them, it's the OnePlus Nord N1 5G. So they just lopped the zero off.
For the American market.
I don't know. It didn't. What I saw in the reports yet, I haven't seen it saying for American market yet. The N1 will reportedly be followed up by the N10. To that end, we likely expect the price tag of below the original Nord's $399 price. So here we are with OnePlus now getting into the mid-range business. Wise move.
Yeah, I mean, I would say so, especially since their hardcore fans said that they fell off when they moved into the top tier and left out everybody else, and now they're creating those more budget friendly devices.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not with those budget friendly devices. You would expect like a plastic back. You would expect this and that, but I don't think they're leaving out the key parts such as the screen and the design itself.
Right.
I mean, look at the design. I mean, it's an all-screen display. It's got the little hole punch. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're not using some like a 300 series or 400 series Snapdragon. They're probably using what does it say with the 765 or?
Well, they didn't give a chipset. They're only talking about in this article I saw was the 690.
Oh,
that's presently in the N10.
Yeah, see, I don't know anything about I don't know too much about the 600 series. The 600 series I know is not obviously. I mean, the higher you go, the better the performance. So the 700 is
not all the time. not all the time. I find that the 625 one I had in my Moto G5 Plus was phenomenal. Just really a great chipset and great on battery. So then I got I got the 665 in the Moto stylus, and it's okay, but there's been a few times it had a hiccup or two, but the other one just was just great. I'm just going through the comments real quick. Yeah, 5G. So, what have you heard, or what are your thoughts on the OnePlus 9?
Man, I mean, I really haven't been keeping up with OnePlus when it comes to their latest stuff. I mean, obviously they're going to do the SD888. As far as I mean, they've leaned more towards like a One UI type style, which is kind of weird. Because I mean, weird. Yeah, I guess because they're targeting more now. They're trying to target like more the Samsung crowd. If you pick up a OnePlus, not only do you get a similar design, but you get a similar UI.
Okay. Ren's saying Auction OS plus Pixel camera. That's the unicorn there. Okay, that's a unicorn.
Now, when I had my OnePlus 7 Pro and I installed the G Cam on it, I mean the pictures were way better than the stock camera. I was able to. I mean, the HDR was just freaking amazing. The night shots were amazing. Nothing compared to that Pixel itself, but from what OnePlus originally had on their camera, no matter
Mhm.
how you tune their camera, it could not meet the Gcam ports. I mean, it just
Yeah.
couldn't do it.
Right.
And
Right.
I mean, and that's what I don't get is I mean, like all the Gcam ports are out there, everything is out there. Like, is how come OnePlus hasn't really, tried to, tune their cameras? It's like,
Well, how and again, this is another perspective. I was listening to Juan Bagnell's podcast today because I had the day off. Um, he talked about that the software, you could put a Gcam in anything, and you could get the prop. You could get a reliable Gcam port in, but eventually, what works with Gcam, what works is in a pixel. It's a something with the software. How I understand. I want to just for a second here. This guy here, Alt Dad Tech. Now, I wish Ted was here. Ted pointed him out in the end of last week's Friday night Tech Talk. Apparently, he was one of the people that were YouTubers that were trending, and I went to a channel, and I want to tell everybody subscribe to this guy. This guy is going to just like no hold bars. He's just going to talk about what's on his mind. He's going to, I can't say enough about this guy, and thank you for stopping by. Thank you for checking out the channel and my live stream. This is like I said, one of my rare moments being able to get on here. So Alt Dad Tech, check out his channel, subscribe to him, and show him some love. All right.
yes,
So
welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream.
yeah, definitely welcome. Thank you. So getting back to, I'm going through the comments. An N1 5G 500 max for that. It again leaks. It's all about the leak. So the thing I hate about Gcam, I guess it's updates destroy it. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see here. It was a bunch of comments starting to fly through here. I want to get to them. What's this here? Auction OS Plus Pixel Camera is the straight Victoria's Secret. Yeah.
I mean, OnePlus performance plus the Gcam is just great. I mean, it's just like you can't even explain it. Like it's just it was when OnePlus came out with the when I had the OnePlus 7 Pro, the UI just reminded me of like a custom ROM, and it was almost the first UI that ever made me feel like I didn't need to install a custom ROM onto the device. And then OnePlus started like tweaking some weird stuff on it, and eventually I went to custom ROMs. But it was already up there. It had the theming, it had the layout was pretty much reminding me of like a basic Lineage OS with a couple added features, just like a custom ROM. And after now the way they switched to that Samsung, it's kind of like they pretty much just went after Samsung.
Well, you got to understand, they're pleasing a crowd. They're trying to please, not always understand. I feel, again, my eyes been open to this fact that we're enthusiasts. Okay. I mean, okay. So I strongly feel that OnePlus is trying to, or BBK, I believe is the parent company. They have a stake here in America. They know that there is a market here that they could very well crack into. So with these lower end phones, lower end, mid range, lower price phones, they're getting into look. They're at Metro T-Mobile right now. You know how many YouTubers went in and walked in, and the only thing they paid was the month of service and activation fee? I mean, I paid straight up $300 for this phone. I could have done the same thing and paid barely $100, about $80, I think. Kia, I think she said was like 90 something. She was in the room, by the way. So I could have had a OnePlus. I could have gone that route. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But for $300, it's not bad. It's not bad for this phone. Again, the fight is Pixel 4a. Then spend the extra $50 and get that. So I'm going through the comments real fast here. Yes. Yeah, that's downstairs. And I know you can agree to that the keyboard's too small.
Yeah, the keyboard was the whole phone was just too small. I mean, I thought I would like the phone because it was small, easy to handle. I mean, it's a great one-handed phone. It just it's yeah, the keyboard was small, and then I
The
kept
keyboard. How many typos did you do? Right? How many typos did you wind up doing? Right?
yeah, it
So.
was like hold on, back.
Yeah. Yep. Alt Dad Tech, isn't the virtual core the reason the Pixel is so good? And thank you for the shout out. How I understand, and please comments in the room or Josh, if you can tell me, I understand the virtual core is gone in the Pixel 5.
Yeah, from the cameras, right? From
Yeah.
the camera, yeah,
Yeah.
That's out.
So
They believe that their just processor alone can handle the all the processing and stuff like that, so they don't need a dedicated core to handle the way the video is being processed or something like that.
So that's interesting. So the 765, they're leaning on that.
Yeah.
Excuse me. They're leaning on the processing power of just the chip alone.
With the chip alone, and not have a dedicated.
So then so the 765 isn't a bad chip.
I mean, from my opinion, it's not a bad chip from what I've been hearing.
Right. I'm playing devil's advocate here. You know what I mean? You know.
You always get it's like me picking up, like when I picked up the iPhone 2020, it's an iPhone. It's supposed to do this, but it's not tailored to me. It's a small phone. I abused it. It died real quick. It overheated because it's not something that I would use. I mean, I'm more of the bigger phones because they dissipate heat a lot better. The more powerful processors because of my gaming. So the Pixel, I mean, I would recommend the Pixel for a person that doesn't game a lot. Not somebody who's going to spend like 2 or 3 hours gaming. For a person that wants to take pictures.
Wait, you mean the iPhone or the Pixel?
No, the Pixel. Like when it comes to the Pixel and using the 765, yeah, it's a lower. It's a mid tier, top end mid tier processor. I would recommend it for somebody. I mean, I have yet to see somebody with a Pixel 5 saying that I'm getting extremely bad battery with normal usage. I mean, if you're tethering and you're doing all kinds of crazy stuff with it, of course you're going to kill any battery just about. But I mean, for like an average user, I've seen people post like 8 hours screen on time, 9 hours screen on time with a Pixel 5. I'm like, the pictures, I've yet to see somebody say like, oh my God, like this Pixel 5 just takes horrible pictures. Look at these picture samples and they're just horrible. You know, so I think Google found a balance when it comes to the Pixel and they're not catering to the person that wants the top tier specs to push the phone to its limits, which I believe they should offer at a pro model for us, you know, 1%ers that want the extra stuff.
Well, you know what you're going to get? You're going to get the 870. That's going to be your pro model. And you're going to get whatever the new Gen 765, whatever that's going to be.
I mean, if Pixel said we're releasing the Pixel 6 and it's coming with an 870 and it has the 3 cameras and it can do 4K 60, it can do, you know, the 120 hertz refresh rate display. It's going to come with the 128 base storage with the high end at 512. It's going to come with this. I wouldn't mind spending $1,000 for it.
You heard it first, folks. The guy who dived in heavy on Samsung, he's gonna pop back over to the land of the pure.
That's what it would take for me to get back the Pixel. I mean, I want the Pixel 5 to test it out and stuff like that and to see how well it's been optimized to the user that wants a phone that is just overall. The Google Assistant and have all the Google services and stuff like that working with it is great. So I want to use that phone because I do like pure Android, but Samsung has really pushed the bar as far as what they can do, and the Note 20 is just on a whole new level by itself.
So I want to just real quick. We have the Apple iPhone representative in the room. Will's in the room. Okay, so you know anything about Apple, anything that he can really just poke fun at Google in a hard way, he's here to represent. Okay, so going down the list, we got a lot of comments. I want to go try and blow through here real quick. Visual Core allows
processing. It was dedicated processor. I mean, a dedicated processing core for the pictures.
Yeah. What's up? What's up, Will? Let's see here. Alt Dad Tech had one of top trending videos on glowing rectangle. Okay, that's how we discovered him. 7 Pro was my last OnePlus and still have it and love it. We got here OnePlus started with Cyanogen mod.
Cyanogen mod.
Mm-hmm. And now, do you think any of that pieces of the Cyanogen mod was left to start what they have the Oxygen OS in the early days, or was that just a clean sheet of paper?
The theming and stuff like that, they carried some stuff over, like theming. There was a couple of other features that kind of reminded me of a custom ROM.
Mm-hmm.
But Cyanogen mod, I mean, was on a whole level by itself when it came to everything that it could do and the tweaks you could do on it. But
right. But obviously we gotta say the new OS is just not because of Samsung, but also though too is they're are they catering to a different crowd now?
That they are. I mean, the Samsung
and I'm not saying the crowd would be again the consumer who's going to be picking up their phone. They're picking up a $300 N10.
Yeah,
I mean, right?
No,
Safe to say that
they're catering to it's like something that's more familiar. I mean, I wouldn't know how to say it. Like Samsung had it right. I mean, yeah, people might not like their UI and the way it looks with the big headers, but Samsung had it right because they have big screens, so the header pushes everything down, so it's easier to use one-handed.
Mm-hmm.
That was the reason, I guess, that people were talking about it. Like, it made everything easy to use because now they have big headers. It looks kind of cartoony or something like that, but
right.
I mean, right. I really don't mind it. It does kind of make it easier because, like, when I use my Google Messages, I have to scroll all the way to the top of the screen to hit my message to open it up. Where in the Samsung Messages, it's right there at mid-screen, which is a lot easier to use. Their phone app and stuff like that. Now, here's the biggest issue with Samsung now, and it's been all over Twitter, is ads.
Yes.
Samsung having ads on their phone.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the ads is mostly I've seen in a weather app. If you go to Samsung Pay and mess around with where your cards are, I think where you got an ad? You got an ad there?
No, this is my home screen, but
yeah, the weather app. Yeah, that's been there for a while.
Yeah,
that's been there for a while. So, but I get it.
A lot of them were getting the push notifications and. Like yes, I mean, we pay whatever we pay for these phones, and yeah, it shouldn't have it especially with the built-in apps, weather apps and stuff like that. You shouldn't have the ads on it. The one that would annoy me the most though is the push notification ones. That's what would annoy me the most.
You were getting push notifications for ad?
No, I didn't get the push notifications, but a lot of people were reporting like notifications. They were getting notifications constantly from the ads, and like I don't get the push notifications. I get it within the Samsung weather app and the health app.
But okay, but is there a way to turn them off? I thought there was. I was reading it.
Somebody said use an ad blocker.
Okay. There's a good comment right there, and this is what I've been thinking. Leo here, Andrew says saying what I've been thinking or been suggesting. Respect to OnePlus for trying for being in carrier stores, unlike ZTE or Huawei or Xiaomi. But I mean, trying to be in carrier stores, ZTE was a really up and coming company, started with the low end phones, got a lot of respect with the Axon 7 and the 7 Mini, had a hell of a community build up. And I think that's sort of what they want to go for here in America. I mean, they came in it backwards. They had the enthusiasts come in, we're all piped up for them. We're all, and as soon as they pivot to go for the market that they were really trying to go after, we're the ones all bent out of shape.
But if you look at if you look at the OnePlus approach, they cater to the enthusiasts first because it's free marketing. The enthusiasts are always going to be about specs.
Mm-hmm.
We can promote a phone, better than some ads can promote a phone. It's always the word of mouth. So when OnePlus went to T-Mobile and they dropped the OnePlus 7 or OnePlus 6T, I think, or the OnePlus 6 models, who was it that was really promoting them? Like T-Mobile wasn't saying like, oh, we got the new, OnePlus device. Everybody's like, what's a OnePlus? It was the enthusiasts that were like, oh man, I'm heading over to T-Mobile right now because they got this phone. And like, I mean, I don't know how many people I Twitter work. I was like, OnePlus. They were like, what's that? And I showed them the performance of the phone, the design of the phone, and everybody and we had people start buying OnePlus phones, and then
Well, you
they
were
released
doing the advertising for them.
yeah, and then we did the OnePlus 7 Pro, and that was like, man, people would look at the phone and be like, "Where's your camera at?" And I'm like, "Watch this," and the camera pops up, and
Yeah,
they were like,
yeah,
"What?"
yeah,
So
yeah.
everybody was like, "What?" So the enthusiasts really promoted that, and now that OnePlus is kind of getting out there with their recognition, now they can push the lower end phones because it's that. Well, you may not be able to afford our phones now, but you know what? We also got a phone that will cater right to you. So they kind of did the backwards approach by pushing their top end models to show everything that they have, and then saying, "Hey, you can also get this in a smaller, cheaper package." I mean, that's my point of view on that. The way
Okay.
OnePlus did there.
Pixel Core only in the Pixel 4 line. I thought the Core was in a 3 and a 2. Did they introduce it in a 3 or 2? The visual core?
That I don't know. When I
All
bought
right,
the
people
Pixel
in the
4,
comments, fill me in. Or I mean, I'm not doubting Android Stud. I thought my Pixel 3 had the visual core in it. So, did you guys know that Xiaomi will be coming up a phone with the 775G? No, there ends. Thank you. I have to look into that. So I wonder if that's the upgrade from the 65, the 765. Good point at Android Stud. Rest in peace, Visual Core on the Pixel 5, 4A, and 4A and 4A 5G. OnePlus is in the smartphone shopping mall. Huawei, ZTE, and Xiaomi are in the shopping smartphone flea market. Pixel 5 is noticeably slower to me than flagships.
yeah, that processor.
Yeah. 4K videos on the Pixel 5, instant frying pan in the pocket. Let's see. Will Apple is trash? Well, I know. See, Apple's are. I mean, Will's already turning up the heat. Let's see, Will. Did you watch Leo with an iPhone for a month? Did you follow him on Facebook or? Oh yeah, it got to go back. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Well, hey, we got a new guy here, right? He's Art Dog. Hey, how you doing? Companies like Xiaomi, Huawei, and probably ZTE are probably going to be totally frozen out of the U.S. market. No, huh?
Yeah, with their
Even like a newer Xiaomi phone doesn't have a voice over LTE. Okay. You know what he's talking about, right? That
with
there's that all the phones on most all the carriers now got to have voice over LTE.
they're also
I still go with the Pixel 3, then the Pixel 5, especially on the processor power. Here we go, Art Dog.
I think they did show a benchmark where the Pixel 3 did beat the Pixel 5 in a benchmark.
Did it really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see here.
I mean, the only thing like the difference between the Pixel 3 and the Pixel 5 is you're probably gonna have the Pixel 5 feel smoother because of the 90 hertz, and the Pixel 3 would probably sound better because of the dual speakers on the front facing speakers. Yeah.
Now I'm trying to find out. Let's see. Yeah. It's giving me the history. Does it tell you what phones it's in? No. I'm trying to quickly Google. What use? Okay, let's try this question. First appeared. Okay, so the Visual Core first appeared in the Pixel 2 and Pixel 2 XL, which was introduced in October 19th, 2017. It's also appeared in Pixel 3 and 3 XL, starting with the Pixel 4. This chip was replaced with the Pixel Neural Core. And that's from Wikipedia, and that's gospel. There we go. I said
and then they take it out.
and they take it out with the well, the 3A 4A didn't have it. I don't think they had it, right?
No, I don't think their processors were able to use it.
Yeah. Here we go. Let's see. Here we go, Mr. Will. I knew you got it. I knew he would get the S21 Ultra. I knew it. He said, no, I ain't doing it. See, he's a closet Android guy. He goes in a closet, plays with Android, comes out and still says, I knew it. OnePlus is the godfather of dark mode.
Yeah, they actually had black.
Yeah?
Yeah, they were actually using black. I don't understand why Google went to that weird gray that was two-toned.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yes. Hey, Brian. We got here Everyday Tech. Hey, how you doing, sir? Welcome to the stream. I'm going through the comments. I think you're right, Mike. BBK is using the NOR to get into the U.S. Yes. And I spoke about that before. Brand engineering. Remember that. I'm going to use that word a lot. Brand engineering. As a guy that's been in the car business for many years, you'll see these phones have similarities. And that brand engineering, or that special kind of engineering, I think we're going to start seeing in chipsets. The 865 plus, as I call it, is a painted over. Now it's the 870. And I only can compare. The only way I can compare is this: as a car guy to work in parts department. You know, every year I worked in a car dealership. The engines, because that's basically what a chipset is, came out and they said, "Oh, it's got an extra 20 horsepower and extra gallon of fuel economy. It's going to perform." You open up the damn thing; it's still the same damn 4-cylinder engine that was in it from the last 2 years. Okay, they might add in an extra vacuum line over here or an extra component over here, and this is, we're talking in the 2000s. So it was software driven too. So the fuel mixture was all software driven. Okay, but it was the same damn engine. Well, we're having it here. I really believe, after seeing Munchie's video on the 870 and how it is just tweaked and overclocked. 865 plus, that's what we're going to start seeing. That's what I think we're going to start seeing.
Yeah, because I remember when they did that, when they started doing the plus, I think it was like, what was the first one?
855. 855.
Okay. When the 855 plus came out, and it was overclocked 855, of course. I remember Flair, the guy that does Elemental X kernel for most devices. He said he posted his kernel overclocked on the 855 to match that of the 855 plus. I was like, they did the 855 plus and he overclocked the 855 to match.
He did it on his own.
He did it on his own.
But that's if somebody could do it on their own, man, that's just like us old car guys, because we would tear down an engine and do different things to it, and then give it more horsepower. That's so funny.
We used to be able to root the Samsung. I used to root like my Samsung S5 and the S3s, and I don't know about the motos that I had, but we used to root them and then apply a custom kernel that'll give us overclocking. And we used to overclock it probably. You could take like a 1.8 and make it 2.1, or take a 2.1 and make it 2.3, or 2.5. I mean, we were able. I mean, yeah, it would create the heat, but I mean, when you start talking about now these 855, 865. Even with their top performance, their cooling, their little cooling systems, little cooling tubes they have in there now. I mean, they can dissipate heat to somewhat of an extent that even if you overclock it, you're still not. You've already reached that performance where you can open apps and do things so fast that it'll actually bring the SoC back down to throttling or not so high, so you're not ramping up heat so much. Back then, you would run that CPU up and it would stay locked because it was still doing a lot of tasks. Now the tasks get done so fast that you start idling back down. That's why we get so much good battery. I mean, you can get on like YouTube. YouTube will allow the SoC will start throttling back down, and you run at low frequencies. That's why you can watch videos like forever.
Oh, okay. So the app is triggering the SoC to
ramp up,
wind down.
Now
saying.
that the way they're processing everything like that, the SoCs are tuned to, even like on videos, they're used to run at low frequencies. And like on the note, I probably get like last time I posted, I think it was like 4 hours or 5 hours of screen on time, and still had like 50% with like, like 3 hours or 4 hours of YouTube, because it's just watching video. So it just like idles the CPU just to watch the video.
That's weird because you're telling what you told me, but you were telling me that like you on the SE phone, the Samsung SE. Was it just purely running off the battery? Then why didn't the iPhone do the same thing?
The way Apple's processing, like if you watch videos on the iPhone compared to compared to like most Samsungs, for some reason, like I don't know, I guess it might have been the phone itself or something like that, but the way it handled the video, it was just, it stayed at a higher frequency. We're draining the battery a little bit more. If you do like a 1 hour video on an iPhone at the same resolution as a 1 hour video on a Samsung, chances are that Samsung used up less power.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and then I know the gaming, the iPhone will eat through the battery on a game.
So they're just straight like a straight feed or right off the battery.
Yeah,
that's what you're saying. Where the where the processor on an Android phone, it has a way of controlling wattage, juice. It sounds like to me too. You know what I mean? Is it am I right in saying that?
It's like when you have a processor that can handle so much, task, but yet the game is not causing it to use all that power. So it won't even stay at the high frequencies for a long period of time to do stuff. Is what I'm saying. Like how do you know how to explain it? The way instead of ramping it up constantly at high frequency to process everything, it can determine when it can be brought back down and for how long it can be brought down without causing the jitter.
Then that's the Android side you're talking about.
Side.
Where that's not happening. Appears to you it's not happening on iPhone.
Yeah, on the iPhone, it seems like it wants to use raw power. Like it wants to just brute force push everything.
Will, are you hearing this? Okay, Will. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And they did this on a game test. I forgot what the YouTube video that I saw where it shows the iPhone, because people were saying the iPhone doesn't throttle, but the guy showed the iPhone. He did a 1 hour video gaming on the iPhone 12 and the Samsung S20, and both of them within 1 hour's game, the iPhone dropped. It was probably like 15 to 20, almost 20%, something like that. Well, the Samsung S20 only dropped like 13%, running at 120 at 120 hertz. And then not only that, but when they actually did the benchmark after that, it showed that the iPhone dropped like almost 100,000 points in the Antutu benchmark.
Wow!
So that's a form of throttling. I mean, it literally decreased the performance.
I didn't know that. That's good to know.
The iPhone took a big battery hit when it came to the gaming, and I forgot what game they played. But the game that they played, they did a 1 hour test between the Samsung S20 and the iPhone 12, and they both started off at 100%. And the iPhone just chewed through that battery. I mean, it's a smaller battery though. It's a smaller battery.
I just want to get through. I got a lot of comments to go through here. Some of these are good points here. The funny thing was that the T-Mobile rep said the iPhone ain't nothing special, but then said the 90 hertz on the OnePlus 7 Pro with the pop-up camera was innovative.
I mean,
it was different.
There was no phone like it.
No,
you're in the United States.
I have. Okay, we're talking about voice over LTE. I'm using on Mint Mobile service on my N100. Brandon, right? I'm sorry, it's been a while. Brandon, let me ask you: did you buy the unlocked version of the N100? And Mint Mobile is very good. I'm very, 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 very pleased with their service. I got a few other friends on there. George just said basically what I said earlier. He copy and paste the Wikipedia part for the NeuroCore. He's laughing at him. My Pixel 3 and 3 XL felt better than the Pixel 5, so the 5 was a hard pass. Talk about the Pixel 5, and I made a video. Again, shameless plug. I made a video about the Pixel me getting the Pixel 3, and I'm questioning why should we go out and get a Pixel 5 in the first place. Here's the 3, and it took great photos. Still takes great photos. Still great performance. Battery life, it's okay. So again, so I'm getting everything that they were innovative. The core, still flagship chipset in here, right? And I picked that up for like $175. So that's my kind of salesman. Let's see here. Yep, you got that Wikipedia smile. I have this gentleman, more with TK. Welcome to the stream. My swollen battery, Pixel 3 XL had to go, so I got a Pixel 5. Yeah, I heard about some of those issues. What's this? I ain't buying that junk. Oh, tell me you're not. Tell me. He's saying he didn't get the S21 Ultra. He did. Don't let him. He's don't let him fool you. What's this down? Yeah, we both knew it. And yes, vindictive. Hey, Brian. Let's see here. Let me find it. Let's see. What's this here? And anything about Xiaomi or Huawei, you guys can ask me, because our country is near China and Hong Kong. So, Renz, I believe you're in the Philippines. So you get a different flavor of Android, in so many words. So Rez is a good guy. He's a good guy. He follows me. So ask him about anything that is, ask him anything that we don't have in the States, basically. So someone would want to, for the discount. Oh, okay. What's this? Will, you can't keep it from us, Will. We know and love you despite your personality. Rez writes here, sad part on Sammy here is we only get the Exynos chips, not the Snapdragon ones. Big bummer. I heard a lot of comments about that. And then now the comments about the Exynos chip. Are you hearing or reading anything about that chipset being better or competitive with the Snapdragon?
From what I've seen from a couple of people that I've followed on tweets and stuff like that, they're posting screenshots of the Exynos hitting over 4,000 on the Geekbench 5, and that's better than the Snapdragon's 3700. The Snapdragon's only hitting like 11 or like 1,000 something with like 3700 multi-score, and they showed that they posted a couple of screenshots of the Exynos 2100 hitting like 4,100. Like it was like 11 something for single core and like 4,100 for multi-core. And they're using there's something else with the camera. It's something else with the camera. They've changed something else with the camera in the Exynos variant.
Okay. See here, Brian's saying that everybody should watch TK videos on the iPhone 12 Pro Max, but yet TK says Brian ain't for everybody. He says Apple sucks though. So we all get TK and Will in the same room. That will be interesting. FCT seems to get back, and then after they paid their fine to the U.S., so Ted and I don't get trips to CSN. Yeah, that's a shame. Whoa. Wow. Let's see. We got more people in here. Spectacular Gadgets. Welcome to the stream. Yeah. Yes, Will, we know your phone still works. He'll be back once he's done school and graduated. I know he'll be back. He'll get another Android phone. I'm still trying to convince him to get a second line. I bribed him. I even said to him, I'll pay for the second line. God damn it. This way he can play with it, So let's see here. Wow. Comments are coming. So getting back to Exynos, basically, there's a good chance it gotten better.
I know it's better than the previous variant. That's for sure. That's what everybody's been saying. Yeah, that it's way better than the previous variant. It wasn't a letdown.
If they could carry that same kind of quality over to the lower end phones too, I guess that would be a good thing.
Yeah.
But then again, I know, and I'm talking from experience here, my line of work is I'm in a parts department for a forklift company. So I got in my little branch, I got 10 guys on the road. All of them got Samsung J series and A10Es, okay, as work phones. And I know they're all got Exynos. I never checked. I don't know if they got Exynos or got the MediaTek. So they're just dogs. They're just dogs. You know what I'm saying? So they're just really slow. Let's see. I saw some other comment here.
Yeah, and with that being said, with how you said they're slow, they're just slow. I think that's where OnePlus is going to actually take it with that's offering the same price range in those variants of Samsung, but offering a better chipset and better optimization, as their OS is a lot lighter than Samsung's.
That is the selling point to the nth degree, because, as I said, the Metro version. I mean, I only saw from people's videos. I thought I only saw 2 Metro apps, and that was it. And the subtle change was the messaging app, but other than that, it looked pretty clear, clean. You know what I mean? And that, man, that, just think about it. A few years ago, you open up a prepaid phone, and it was just oozing. You know, half the memories already shot because you had stuff on there that people didn't want and or never used in the first place. Ren said Exynos phones are hand warmers for the winter.
Yeah, that's what they said. They said a lot of those overheat. I haven't heard anything about the new chipset overheating, but I'm pretty sure it'll heat up as normal, like it normally would. But I don't know as bad as the way they said they used to be. They said they used to they would just heat up. Like you do something simple and it just be like heating up already.
And TK here says the only reason we have Snapdragons in the U.S. Is so the government can easily access the device. Any thoughts on that? I don't know.
No.
Interesting theory. So
we have more than Snapdragon in the US. It's just Samsung is going to go with the powerhouse. They're not going to use MediaTek, or they're not going to use any other chipset than the top tier processor. MediaTek is not on par with Snapdragon, and
not what I've been hearing. Not what I've been hearing. The Dimensity series is coming out. It's supposed to be big strides to try and keep up. Or, you know, they're not comparing to 888, but it is. Yeah. It might be the reason why we have the 870.
Possibly could. I haven't kept up. I haven't checked into it, so I have to look into something like that.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing.
Like when we hear like the Snapdragon, the latest Snapdragon, you're always going to hear, the performance part of it, but you don't know like the other parts of it, like the fact that it is capable of doing 8K video recording. I mean, like if you have a 765, the 765 is not going to be able to do 8K. I mean, yeah, 8K is one of those things that everybody talks about, like we don't need it in a phone and stuff like that. The fact that we can, record 8K, zoom in on the video and still keep the high quality is a good thing. If you know how to use the 8K, then you can take advantage of the 8K off your phone versus using another camera or something like that. Like I was saying about the 1080p at 120 frames. I mean, that's regular shooting. That is not slow motion. That is not extra slow-mo or anything like that. It is 1080 at 120 frames, shooting it like that. I mean, the 765 is not going to do that. So, I mean, yes, we can hear performance as far as like MediaTek or any other company pushing performance. We have, 2.9 gigahertz processor. We can do this and we can do that. The apps will open up snappy. But what is it actually processing as far as like HDR videos? Is it processing the HDR videos? Like, that's where Apple has theirs. The Apple chip is the A14 and the A13 and stuff like that are recording these 4K 60 in HDR. That's pushing the processor. Snapdragon can shoot the 4K 60, the 1080 120. But when you start getting into like the other, like I said, MediaTek, like is MediaTek, yeah, they got the performance, but are they pushing also the camera portion of it and the way they handle their videos and the way they handle their HDR and the way they're handling, like with the S21, the fact that you can do that, what is it, that new shooting mode where you can like capture like all the cameras simultaneously at the same time?
Right. Now, is that just because the chipset's is capable of doing that?
It's capable of recording, like utilizing all 3 or all 4 cameras at the same time, recording and taking pictures.
Then there's got to be somebody has hacked the system to do the same thing on the 20 version, on the S20 Ultra, and have that.
You can do something similar to it with the what is it, that shooting mode that does the 10-second capture or something like that.
Andrew MediaTek stop.
Like the S20 can do the that what is it, that picture.
You can't say that's what I mean. Somebody's going to figure a way to. Well, you're saying you can do it on S20.
Yes, but not at the time, not at the way that you're doing it on the S21 for a longer period of time.
So there were limitations.
Yes, because like you can hack something and make it do it, but if the processor's not capable of doing it, you're going to overheat the processor. It's going to you're going to run into all kinds of issues, or it might not.
So you got a hand warmer.
Yeah, you're not going to render right. You can push it to do it. I can mod the camera and enable like certain features and stuff, but it's not going to handle it appropriately, and it's just going to run into all kinds of issues when you try to play it back.
Real quick, Renz just want to confer, and he says he's following you. And that's there's this gentleman's Twitter handle. So go stalk him, okay?
Yeah, that's correct. Daze 181.
I find the battery gains with these chips is nonsense. If you push the SoC hard enough, the battery life is going to be similar. What do you think of that? That's correct in saying that? Okay.
Now that is correct. Now, but that we also got to take into consideration is what else have they done? Okay, we jump from the what is it? The S. Okay, we'll take the S20 Plus, or we'll take the S20 Ultra, I think is what it is, or the S20 Plus, whichever one however you want to take the S20 Plus. It has the 1440p, but not at 120 hertz, right? Mm-hmm. And you take the S20 Ultra, and it has the 1440p at 120 hertz. Yes, you're going to get the similar battery life, but one is taxing the SoC a lot harder than the previous one. So if you're getting the same battery life on a higher end model, then you've extended your battery life. It's kind of it's like if I gained 300 horsepower, but I'm still burning the same gas that I would do on a car that has 300 horsepower less, then that's a gain.
Okay.
That's where the gain comes in. It's not really like we're not really going to see, like they say 30% more battery. It's not that we're going to see like 20 hours of screen on time. No, it means if I'm playing that exact same game for an hour that I was playing on the S20, I'm going to have better battery playing that exact same game in the exact same settings. And that's where I come into the comparison is like my S20 handled Call of Duty for an hour really good, but handling it at 120 hertz and stuff like that on 1080p. But my Note 20 on the 120 adaptive refresh rate, as they want to call it, is I can still play a lot longer than what I can do on the S20 Plus. I don't know about the S20 Ultra because I never got that model.
Okay.
But that's where we're going to see the gain at is in the stuff that's going to tax the SoC.
Oh my God. Leo, you're killing me, man. You see that comment?
The Rock Dragon.
Okay. All right. Well, let me know how it goes. I'll buy the first phone. All right. I want a reviewing unit. You want one, Josh? Okay.
I'll take one.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I want to wrap it up here. I just saw we've been at this almost 90 minutes, and I want to call it the night. But I just want now. This is probably another long conversation, which is great. I don't care, but I was going to ask you, what are you looking forward to? Because that question was posed to me, and I kind of drew a blank thought, but the only thing that just occurred to me that I'm kind of looking forward to is, don't we get in February the Android preview for the next version?
Yeah, Android 12.
Android 12. Okay. And are you looking forward to it, or what are you looking forward to?
I'm really hoping Google brings back that those little notifications that they took away that let you know that when your camera, your mic, and your location was being used by a certain app, you would find it on the right side of the status bar.
Okay.
Google took that away. That little now Apple does it. I was like, Google did it, and now Apple does it, and Google.
Well, one does the other. Come on, you know.
And Apple,
you know
Apple
how that goes.
Pretty cool. Apple, I like the fact that Apple did it, which is pretty cool. It's just the fact that Google took it away. I have no reason why they did that, but I'm pretty sure I kind of have an idea why. You know, it's going to let you know every time Google listens on your mic or Google accesses your location. That little icon's be popping up all the time.
So more privacy stuff you're looking forward.
And the one thing I can say right now that I have to applaud Apple for, and this is like very rare, is Apple's new privacy features that they're going to start incorporating. With the how whenever an app or a website wants to track your data for ads, you'll get a little notification pop up saying that this app was trying to use your data for ads or something like that. It has to do with the way they're advertising. So Facebook is the main issue.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. Is that what you're talking about? The big fight between okay.
Between Apple and Facebook, and the fact that Apple is now going to incorporate that. It's like a little pop-up that pops up and it says, this app is trying to use your data for advertisement or something like that. And it says, do you wish to allow or tell the app or ask the app not to use my data for ad purposes? So it actually tells it kindly, ask the app not to use your data for app purposes, which, I mean, I have to applaud Apple. When it comes to privacy, that right there was like the biggest move I've ever seen when it came to privacy and taking on big time ad developers like Google and Facebook. So, I mean, I wish Google would do something like that where we can actually block a lot of, the AdWords and stuff like that, and the data being sold to the, AdWords, but Google is an advertising company.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm looking forward to. I'm just looking forward to something new to play with as software wise. That's what that's what precipitated one of the reasons I got a Pixel 3, other than the cameras, and I know what the capabilities of the cameras can do. Getting that new software, getting that new whatever comes out of the oven over a Android Google. But that's it. What's his name mentioned about here? George mentioned here. Don't know when it's coming, but I'm looking forward to the 2021 Surface Duo. That's great. I mean, hey, and I get it, but honestly, I would like to have a folding phone to say I had it and play with it. But I just can't seem to gurgitate that kind of money to get a phone that would fold. I'm just quite happy where they're laying flat right now on my desk. Okay. They fit fine in my pocket and all. I want a bigger screen. I have this, or I have my Chromebook. But I don't know. It might be an old fart, but there's nothing really that's exciting right now. That is going, oh boy, and I was serious. Normally in our Twitter feeds, and Josh, there's a leak for this, there's a leak for that, there's a leak for you know what I mean. And as soon as the S21 came out, there's been nothing. There's been no leaks for nothing. Normally by now we've been hearing at least a leak for the iPhone. Or a fake out render or something like that.
Yeah,
so
when you hear the iPhone leak, it's always going to be the same leak. iPhone's going bezel-less. They're not going to have. They're doing away with the notch. What is it else? They're doing away with the notch. They're incorporating either 120 hertz displays or doing something crazy. And then when you get the iPhone, it's like the notch is still there. It's still at 60 hertz, and they just changed the way it looks.
Yeah. They're just going to take one less port away. So.
It's supposed to be rumored that they're not supposed to release it with a screen, and you got to purchase your own screen separately.
And come to a Genius Bar to get it installed. I like that. I like where you're going with that. So, is there anything in particular you're looking for, as George points out, for his Surface Duo, which he loves? He was absolutely infatuated with it, and that's cool. But is there anything in particular you have in mind?
I was looking forward to the Note 21 Ultra, but the fact that they're not going to release it is a big disappointment.
Whoa! Breaking news! What are you talking about?
The Note 21, they said they're supposed to be releasing. The Note 21 Ultra is something that they've rumored not to be released.
Okay, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a Note 21.
At least that's what it's rumored. The Note 21 is supposed to be the Note 20's, upgrade.
But no Note Ultra. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, no Note Ultra. That's why That's why they're porting the S Pen features to the S21 Ultra.
Yeah, they're heading towards putting a pen in the fold.
If they put a pen in the fold, that would be the device I'd be looking forward to.
That I'm telling you, that's where they're headed to. That's going to be the premium. The Note is going to be the fold.
Yeah, if they put a pin in the fold, then I'm all for that. New
iPhone going 120 hertz variable refresh rate, side button, fingerprint reader on the iPad. Here we go. We got Leo saying Microsoft Duo is done. One shot, not a wonder. I tell you, when we need a comedian, we got him. Okay,
Now, if it would be called the Note 20 FE, I mean, I don't know how you make an FE model out of the Note 20 because it's already an FE model out of the Note 20 Ultra.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the only thing I could see them, they would have to add that high refresh rate.
Right. Well, anything else you care to add?
I mean, if you get your hands on a Samsung device, like I said, I'm going to try to do that. Next time, I'm going to try to do this live stream off the Dex.
Oh, yeah. Tell everybody your thoughts before what you were thinking of doing.
The next stream, we're probably going to do, I'm going to use Dex, and then use the stream on the TV, and use the rear camera as the actual shooting of the video here. Right now, I'm just using the front-facing camera on the S20 Plus. So I'm actually going to use Dex to host or to do the video chat, and then just use this for the camera as a webcam.
So now you're going to use a feature that not many people use.
Yeah, that not many people use. This Dex is a very powerful feature. I mean, I was telling people last time, I was playing the game, the Call of Duty mobile game. I was playing it with my Xbox control on my TV, and then I could still make calls and do a video chat with this while playing the mobile game on the TV. So I mean, it was just something that I was capable of doing at the time. So we're gonna try to do a live stream from Dex,
okay,
using this still as a phone at the same time.
I will hit you up when I have my weekend. We'll see what next weekend brings us. I want to try that. I want to, you can guinea pig on my channel with this one. Okay.
Yeah. So when we're shooting a video, I will actually grab the phone and show the camera to the TV as we're streaming and everything like that. So
okay, that'll be cool. That'd be cool. That would be great to see. So, wow, he sold it. Andrew Stud sold his Note 20 Ultra tonight. Sold for $900.
Man.
Well,
I don't even think I'm gonna let go. If they don't make a Note 21 Ultra, I would not be letting this phone. I would get all the support from this phone and just keep it.
Yeah. Honestly, you're going to, and maybe Leo give you another discount. He could unlock a bootloader for you in 3 years.
Yeah. Maybe unlock the bootloader once the end of life comes to this phone.
Right.
Yeah, I don't see myself. The Note 20 actually got me into Samsung even more, and I'm just like, yeah,
You're really going deep. You're really going deep with Samsung now, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, I was a Pixel. I mean, I still love the Pixel.
I know.
It's just Samsung it's what's really pushing everything when it comes to the cameras, the hardware, everything is just.
That's cool.
I mean,
Josh, tell everybody where they can find you.
At Daze 181 on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
So, And then I got my YouTube channel, Daze One, YouTube, custom ROMs, mods, and stuff like that. I need to really pick up on my channel because I've been slacking with that. I think the last video I did was the Bigsby routine.
Yeah. And once in a while, I'll catch you on. Do I catch you on Instagram?
Yeah, Instagram too. Instagram I haven't been using too much lately, but I'll definitely start picking that stuff back up too. I need to get back into the promoting my channel and stuff like that. So
that's all right. Well, hey, if you want to guinea pig and get that doing that Dex thing, and if you want to do another stream on your channel, I have no problem at all.
All right, sounds good. I mean,
all right,
we'll definitely be doing that. We'll do that test. We'll run a test to see if we can
on my channel.
Yes.
And when you get the bugs worked out, and then you try and get some eyeballs on your channel. Okay.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. So that's it. I'm going to end that with the last comment. I want to thank everybody for tonight. We're done. Super questions, Josh. Thank you so much because I do better with another person here, probably.
Yes. Thank you everybody for showing up.
What's this?
I was thanking everybody for showing up to the stream.
Oh yeah.
Good interaction.
Yeah, good interaction. Leo, Andrew's son, thank you for your comedic input. Your sense of humor is always welcome. Will, I don't know if you're still here. Give me a quick. By the way, my iPhone's downstairs. Sorry, so I don't know if you're trying to message me. Thank you for stopping by, Will. Thank you for everybody. TK, Spectacular Gadgets I saw here. Brandon, Everyday Tech. And anybody else I missed? Brian, Rez, can't think of anybody else. If I missed you, I am terribly sorry. Again, thank you. Hopefully I'll get to see you guys next weekend on another stream. Look, real quick. We needed to do a collaboration days. There you go. Here we go. Rockstar right there. All right. Hit him up on the Twitter. Hit him on a DM. Or I know you do the Telegram too. So one or the other. So I'm Mike Dixon, Joker Tech, and you like today's video, give it a thumbs up. Replay crew, please share out there. And we're going to do the old countdown in 3, 2, 1.